Jay Calderon Boxing Talk.
What's up, y'all? It's your boy, Jay Calderon, Stan Clear Entertainment, and we're about to get into this week's boxing talk. WBA 140-pound junior welterweight champion Regis Prograis is one of the fast-rising stars of boxing today, a young talent who is entering the finals of the World Boxing Super Series against IBF junior welterweight champion Josh Taylor. This is a great matchup, an excellent fight for title unification, and it's one where it puts Regis Prograis in a very good position. If he's able to beat Josh Taylor, he becomes the unified champion of the WBA and IBF title, and then he becomes a free agent once he finishes his obligation to the World Boxing Super Series, which is a deal that he has that put him on Dazn live stream network. And it's a fight where if he wins that Muhammad Ali trophy, he is in a very good position with his promoter, Lou DiBella, and they have options to face the winner of WBC champion Jose Ramirez versus WBO champion Maurice Mo Hooker. That's an excellent fight as well. A very big fight that's going to be taking place on Dazn in July, a title unification between the WBC and WBO champion. The winner of that fight becomes unified champion and then looks to perhaps Regis Prograis. Now, Prograis, like I said, will become a free agent for a network. He has done work with Top Rank before Bob Arum because Lou DiBella had made a deal with Bob Arum to feature Regis Prograis fighting in his hometown of Louisiana and to be able to showcase on ESPN. He had that fight. He looked spectacular in that fight, but it was a deal that was made because if people remember, he had some bogus WBC title and he was the #1 contender to face Jose Ramirez. Now, he backed off of that fight because they made that deal so that he could fight on ESPN and build up the fight between those two. But then they went on a different direction. They entered the World Boxing Super Series because it was a good money payday fight for him and to also unify the titles and put him right where he's at right now. So if he wins the 140-pound division tournament, then he has the option to face a guy like Jose Ramirez, who I believe is going to win and beat a guy like Maurice Hooker for the title unification match. And that's a fight right there where Lou DiBella and Bob Arum, who have done business in the past, can definitely make this fight happen for the undisputed crown of 4 title belts on the line. It's a great matchup. It's a 50-50 fight in my book between Regis Prograis and Jose Ramirez. I think it's a great fight, and it's one that could happen on ESPN Network. Like I said, if Ramirez wins that fight, then he's in a great situation because Bob Arum, I got to commend him on what he did. He was able to let his fighter go over to Dazn for a bigger money payday to have a fight that the fight fans want to see. A title unification between 2 of the top best fighters at 140 pounds. And that's something that a lot of other promoters need to start doing. You know, they have to go where the money is at. They have to go where the fans want to see the best fights. You know, the best fighting the best. And I have criticized Bob Arum and Top Rank for doing a lot of in-house fighting back in the days because they had a good stable of fighters and they did a lot of in-house and didn't want to work with Golden Boy Promotions or even Don King or different other networks. And PBC right now is following the same model because they have a lot of fighters in their stable and they're doing a lot of in-house fighting, and we're being deprived of fights like Errol Spence versus Terrence Crawford right now, which is the hottest fight in boxing. That fight is not being made, or any other fight where the PBC fighter is being made with a guy like Terrence Crawford. You know, Danny Garcia is a great matchup. Mikey Garcia also. You know, these are fights that Terrence Crawford should be having but can't because of the other side of the street is not willing to play ball. And they have to go where the money is at, where the best deals are at, just like Dazn has the middleweight division on lock, and guys like Jamal Charlo cannot get a big fight opportunity against Triple G, Demetrius Andre, Daniel Jacobs, or even Canelo Alvarez. And that's where the money is for a guy like Jamal Charlo, where he could get a very good payday, come across the street and fight on Dazn. Same as Gervonta Tank Davis, who is with the money team, but also part of that PBC brand, and Al Heyman, that he could come over to Dazn where they were willing to pay him $5 million to face a guy like Tevin Farmer, which I believe it's a fight that he could definitely win, but it's to come over to DAZN and make that fight happen. And these guys are not willing to make these fights. So I have to give credit where credit is due, with Bob Arum allowing Jose Ramirez go over to DAZN for the big payday and the big title unification with Maurice Hooker. It's a very winnable fight where I believe he could come out victorious in that fight and bring the titles back to ESPN, where they come out the real winners, and then wait for a guy like Regis Prograis to come out victorious in his fight for a big title unification. But let's not count out Maurice Mo Hooker, because he could definitely win that fight and come out victorious. He could prove me wrong in that fight and become the unified champion. Then the position switches over where Regis Prograis and Lou DiBella is in a very good position, because Lou DiBella and Eddie Hearn have a great working relationship, because both of them co-promote IBF 130-pound champion Tevin Farmer already. So now this is a great opportunity where they have a very good, strong relationship, and Regis is already fighting on DAZN because he's participating in the World Boxing Super Series. So let's say this fight between Maurice Hooker and Regis Prograis could come to fruition, and you have all 4 major title belts on the line, and that's a great opportunity, a very big payday for Regis Prograis, and a very good situation for him. People might say, how come doesn't Regis move up to 147 pounds where the big money is at, and PBC is also a major player in that division? That's not going to happen. And I tell you why. Because Lou DiBella has burned his bridges with Al Heyman, and he can no longer have a good, steady relationship to make big fights. We always saw Lou DiBella at the Barclays Center promoting most of the Brooklyn fights that were taking place in that venue, because he's a New York promoter. But he did something where he took Deontay Wilder behind Al Heyman's back, and he brought him to DAZN for that big mega deal that would have been $120 million for Deontay Wilder, without Al Heyman really knowing what was going on. And they put him in a position where they had to negotiate, but then eventually they turned down that deal and stuck with Showtime to try to build Deontay Wilder into this superstar that they believe that he can be. So, you know, after that, Lou DiBella just basically killed himself by doing that situation on the sneak tip, because he wanted an exclusive deal with DAZN the same way Eddie Hearn and Golden Boy was able to do with their fighters with DAZN. So, you know, right now, Lou DiBella is in a tight situation where he needs a network to really do business. Is it going to be ESPN with Bob Arum, or is it going to be DAZN? And this is where Regis Prograis come in as one of his top fighters that can land him that big exclusive network deal that he's waiting for. And Regis Prograis is in a very, very good position. Like I said, he's young, he's hungry, he's aggressive, he has great punching power, undefeated, a world champion, and really on the brink of becoming a very big player in the world of boxing today, and one of the pound-for-pound best fighters. He could crack that pound-for-pound list if he becomes unified champion or even becomes undisputed champion. He's definitely on that pound-for-pound list if he's able to pull that off. But I got to be quite honest with you. I believe that Josh Taylor is the better fighter all around, and that with his quick hand speed, his boxing ability, and his decent punching power, I believe Josh Taylor is going to beat Regis Prograis in the World Boxing Super Series final. But that's my opinion. I could be definitely wrong, because Regis, much respect to him, I believe he's a very good fighter. You know, I just feel that Josh Taylor is just a little bit better, and I feel that Taylor's going to pull out the victory. But if Regis is able to win and unify, he's definitely a free agent with a big opportunity on the table for him to go to either ESPN or DAZN. And I can't wait to see how this all plays out, because I believe all 4 of these top champions at 140 pounds are better than the guys that Terrence Bud Crawford fought to unify all 4 of the belts, because he is the only man at 140 pounds in this belt era of 4 belts that he was able to unify and become undisputed king. And I believe that the winner of this little tournament that's going on right now between all 4 champions will produce a more significant and better victory than what Terrence Bud Crawford was able to do if they're able to unify all these title belts. But I can't wait. I'd like to thank everyone for tuning in to this YouTube channel right here, Jay Calderon Boxing Talk. please hit that little red subscribe button. Hit that bell icon so you get all my notifications. Once I drop a new video, put your email address in, hit that like button, hit that share button, drop a comment. Follow me on all social media platforms, on Twitter, on Instagram, and join the Facebook boxing group page, all under the same name, J. Calderon Boxing Talk. I'm J. Calderon, Stan Clear Entertainment. Thanks for your support. Keep watching, and please subscribe.